Turning our attention back to Canada and specifically Ottawa, the Liberals and the NDP have reached a deal on Pharmacare legislation ahead of a March 1st deadline. The plan for a universal single-payer system is part of the confidence and supply agreement between the Liberals and the NDP and includes coverage for birth control and diabetes medication. We sat down earlier with NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh, who calls the legislation historic.
We said very clearly that we wanted to make sure people could get some hope when it comes to the cost of medication. 1 in 4 Canadian can't afford to take the medication they need. They skip their pills, or they stretch out their medication, or they just don't fill the prescription at all. So knowing that, we wanted to make sure we could cover medication. So we're really proud to say not only have we locked in the legislation to move forward on universal Pharmacare, but we also have a commitment to cover 2 classes of drugs, contraceptives and diabetes medication. And so what that means is there's a kid that I met on Parliament Hill with his parents, and he said he's got type 1 diabetes, born with it. He's not worried about the injections, the pills, but he is worried about how much it was costing his parents. And I promised that kid I was going to fight for him. And now I can tell that kid that we've now got a commitment to cover his medication.
So, and what is the roadmap to making that all happen going forward? Like, what can you tell us at this point?
Certainly. So we'll have legislation that'll be tabled by March 1st. And then the commitments on covering those 2 classes of drugs, it'll be similar to the child care agreement that the government was able to sign with provinces. So we'll push for that to happen as soon as possible. But like BC has done already, where you go into a pharmacy with your prescription and your prescription birth control, contraceptives, IUD is all covered. Similarly, we'll have that happen across the country. It's going to require negotiating with provinces, but we're confident we can make this happen now.
Now, on the economic front, people have had a lot of questions about the state of the economy, things like inflation, et cetera. How do you think about it from that context in terms of what this affords people?
I look at this as an investment that's going to bring down inflation. We look at the cost of medication. That's something that's very costly, continues to rise. Canada pays. We're the 3rd most expensive jurisdiction for drug costs in the world, only behind United States and Switzerland. So it's quite costly. So this is going to help save some money. It's going to save money for women and for people that need access to contraceptives. It's going to save money for people that have to take life-saving insulin and other medication to deal with diabetes. It's going to save them money. It's an investment that's going to bring down the cost of medication as well.
And then just on the fiscal side for the country, longer term, we're constantly having questions around how we spend and how we deal with things like deficits over the long term. So how does that fit into the equation?
Well, there are certain areas where we need to stop spending. I think that there's been some serious concerns around the contracting out of services, hundreds of millions of dollars that have been spent, that our civil service should be able to perform those services and wants to be able to do and should be able to do. That's where we could save. There's billions of dollars that are going to subsidies that we don't need to spend on profitable companies like oil and gas companies. So we could cut back on those type of investments or those type of expenditures that are not good, that are wasteful, and instead make investments like in Pharmacare, which would help bring down the cost for medication.